Now, Shannon Family Resource Centre is celebrating a major boost for local families after securing €5,000 in national funding to further strengthen its parent and peer support group. The investment recognises the vital role the group plays in supporting parents across the community and will enable the centre to expand and enhance its programme throughout 2026. It was established 3 years ago by family support worker Cathal Dillon. The group has grown into a trusted, welcoming space where parents can connect, share experiences and build confidence in their parenting journey. And for more on this, I'm joined by Leah McNamara and Shazia Shaikh, parents attending the support group at the Family Resource Centre. And also with us is Cathy O Byrne, Shannon native and child and adolescent psychotherapist and founder of the Swallows Trail Parent Support. And you're all very welcome to the show. And Cathy, that funding under the National Parent and Peer Support Fund, how significant is funding like that for local parenting initiatives?
Oh, it's huge. And I know Cathal and Nicola, who was a social care student on placement in the Family Resource Centre at the time, did a lot of groundwork to try and figure out what the needs were and pull all of that data together. And there was a huge amount of work gone into the application, but it will make a huge difference to parents in terms of being able to meet the needs that they've put forward.
I know you're working with the group to develop workshops and supports for the year. What attracted you to get involved with all of this, Cathy?
I'm from Shannon myself. I'm a Shannon native, and I would have worked with the Family Resource Centre in different capacities over time. I would have worked with the parent and toddler group, and I've done different training workshops for Cathal with the parents on playfulness and things like that. So I think any space that's being created for parents that has been described by them as life-changing or a haven, or a safe place for them to come together and reduce the isolation that they feel, deserves to be supported, deserves to be nurtured and tended. So yeah, for me, there was no question and I was actually honoured to be asked to get involved by Cathal. It's a really exciting project and it's going to make a huge difference.
Yeah, just how important are the peer-led parenting supports alongside the professional services, Cathy?
I think parents are unbelievably resourceful and creative and wise and intuitive, and they can be an unbelievable resource and support for each other. Even just having sat in some of the meetings, you can really see how they listen to each other, support each other. That can remove feelings of isolation, reduce stress. And I suppose anything that we can do to kind of keep that going and resource parents to be able to do this for each other going forward will be invaluable to them in their lives, and also by extension their children, their families, and the community in general, I think.
And as I mentioned, Shazia Shaikh and Leah McNamara, both with us, parents attending the peer support group at the Family Resource Centre. I know, Shazia, you've described the group as a haven for parents, which is a glowing a recommendation. What did you mean by that? What exactly does it do for parents such as yourself?
I actually mean it. So, hi, Ellen. It was, I would say that I know Carl and I know Family Resource Centre when I came to Shannon in 2022. And since that time, my child was 4 years. And it was a post-COVID era where most of the parents were struggling, especially those who were having a small kid. There was there was a lot of restrictions to go outside. And because of the restrictions, it impacted my child's social skills. And I was struggling to understand her needs. So I attended a Circle of Security parenting workshop, and through them, I attended also parenting peer support group. Then I would definitely endorse for modern parenting, and even for the parents who are facing different challenges in today's time, including, you have to restrict kids, basically screen time, but then the kids are not willing to understand and respect your decision. So in that scenario, you definitely need someone who will support you and will tell you, yeah, you are doing right, and then you need a right support. So as a parent, I think we also need a support to regulate our emotions. So there, the parenting peer support, it had played that role for me, for regulating my emotion as a parent, for building confidence in me, for giving me those skills and resources. That's why I said that, it's a haven for most of the parents who have been struggling with the parenting challenges of today's extraordinary times.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like an apt description given what you've just said there. And I suppose, Leah, it's interesting what Shazia is talking about there, kind of, helping to point you in the right direction. Because, parenting can sometimes feel isolating. You're always wondering, am I doing the right thing? Has being part of this group changed that for you? And is there a nice atmosphere when parents gather each month at the Shannon Family Resource Centre to be with other people who are in a similar boat to yourself?
Yes, definitely.
Just for Leah there, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes, I really do enjoy it. It does. It makes you feel that you're not alone in the parenting. Because, if you are at home and you're doing your stuff and you don't have much outlets, it does feel like you're on your own. Where the parent and peer support groups, you do find friendships and you find support and you find people in similar situations that you realise what you're going through. You're not alone and there are supports out there and just even people you can find a listening ear to.
Yeah, and do you think that there is still, hearing yourself and Shazia talking, it's great to see people not only using the peer support group, but the resource centre, but availing of it. Do you think there's still a stigma around admitting that you need support as a parent, that there's a perception that, well, I'm a parent, so people, if I have children, people, it's correct to assume that I know what I'm doing when actually at times I don't?
Yes, even for myself. So I'm late in life diagnosed autistic with ADHD. So for myself, I often did feel very overwhelmed and that as a parent, and I was afraid to ask for help because I presumed I should have known what I was doing. I'm a mom, I'm a lady, and I'm a woman. So by right, I should have known it should be internal. So just to know that, there are other people out there and that the supports are there and that you're not alone is just so strong, especially when you are doubting yourself and then you come into groups of people that you realise they're all in the same boat as you. It's sort of equalising in a way and takes off the pressure and the stress of being a parent and believing you think you need to know it all when it comes to the school and when it comes to talking to professionals. It is nice to know that when you're a parent, you aren't the only one out there in that position and we're all just sort of getting by.
Yeah, and I know, Cathy, you have to go soon, but I just wonder, in terms of the upcoming workshops and webinars, how can people sign up for them if they have to register at all? And what kind of themes or topics are you hoping to cover?
So we've planned them kind of in a continuous way, just in direct response to the needs. So we're going to be starting with looking after ourselves as parents, which is critical. Then moving on to co-regulation, emotion regulation and self-regulation. Then we're going to be looking at boundaries and how to set limits in child-centred ways. So they're the kind of in-person ones. And then we have broad topics that parents have asked for help around additional needs, different learning styles, bullying, supporting your teen. So all of those can be booked through the Family Resource Centre. So we're going to be putting some budget aside for advertising, so we'll be able to let people know on our social media and on the Shannon Family Resource website as well. So people can find all the information there and they can register directly through the Family Resource Centre.
Okay, brilliant stuff. Cathy O Byrne, thank you very much for being with us. Shazia, just to come back to you, how important is it to have this kind of safe, non-judgmental space to talk openly about parenting challenges?
As I mentioned earlier, that in today's extraordinary times, every child is different. So if you do not get professional support and if you are just being friendly, you have friends, but they don't have the understanding, they are not professionals, that definitely impacts your parenting. So I always believe that we need a professional support, we need the resources, and plus that kind of friendly conversation. That together it will help you to locate what's the actual problem. And the overall idea is to support your child. And you can support your child when you have a right approach. When you are not being judgmental about yourself, and when you're not being judgmental about your child. So the behavior of the child is also a communication. So the child is communicating when there is a longer meltdown or when the child is, frustrated over something. So this is a platform where we are learning that, not only your child, there are also other childs who are facing the same kind of problem. So basically, parenting is such kind of, I'm struggling for a word, it's such kind of a approach where people usually hide. They prefer to hide or they prefer to keep quiet about, their kids. If they have longer meltdown, then people are judging you. But if you go to the Family Resource Center, there you get all the hearing and the kind people, and they are there to acknowledge, and then they are there to support you.
Yeah, it sounds like a really, really positive experience. I dare say there'd be other parents who are feeling at times like they're not sure what they're doing, who'll be signing up as a consequence of having heard this conversation. And my thanks there to Shazia Shaikh and also Leah McNamara, parents attending the peer support group at the Shannon Family Resource Centre. And earlier with us was the Shannon native and child and adolescent psychotherapist and founder of the Swallows Trail Parent Support, Cathy O Byrne.